Hello my beautiful souls, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shem, and in today's pick card reading we're going to be discussing what is seductively spooky about you. So in pick card readings you can view them how you like, you can watch the whole video, you can watch whatever pile catches your eye, as long as you take what resonates and leave the rest. Know that the way that I read tarot is about self-reflection, it's about showing you the different options you have, and it's also for entertainment purposes, so don't take anything too seriously. Trust yourself and know that you have your own free will. And yeah, let's hop into the pile selection. So today we have 3 piles here. We have pile 1. So for pile 1 we have the ghost character from, I think it's Call of Duty, or some sort of shooting game. I know a lot of people like fantasize about him and say that he's very attractive based off of his personality. So there could be something about that. He's got a little bow and like all these heart things around him. Also, he has a little badge that says England on his chest. He's wearing a skull mask. I'm pretty sure his name is Ghost. He's got like the scopes, the helmet, the bulletproof vest, the gun. So if any of that catches your eye, please pick pile 1. And then for pile 2, we have, I think this is Michael Myers. Let me double check actually. Sorry, my apologies. This is actually Jason, and he is from the series of Friday the 13th. So he's like some sort of resurrected spirit who murders anybody who trespasses Camp Crystal Lake. He also has a little bow on his head, and he just looks like he's vibing. So if that resonates with you, please pick pile 2. And then for pile 3, we have this pink graphic of Ghostface Killer. He's got the knife, the face, and he's like reaching out. So if that resonates with you, please pick pile 3. Okay, let's hop into the piles. Hello my beautiful pile 1s. If you chose this image, this will be your reading on what is seductively spooky about you. So, before we hop into the reading, I want to let you guys know that I do offer personal readings. I have a sale going on, code SPOOKY, up until tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day, so if you're interested, make sure to check it out. I have a sale for 30% off all of my readings. This is the lowest sale that I've ever had, and it's only going to be here for one more day, so if you're interested, check it out. Also, we're going to have an extended reading to this pile. So if you're interested, check that out as well. If you feel like this resonated with you, you can find more messages over on my Patreon. It not only helps out the channel, but it's ad-free, and I'm free to say more 18+ messages over there. So let's get into your reading. So the first thing, let's talk about your thumbnail. The first thing is, I love that he has like a little bow and all these hearts around him. I know that he is he's a famous character from Call of Duty franchise. So his name is Simon Ghost Riley. It's a fictional British Special Forces operator. He's known for his skull pattern mask and his silent, stealthy approach. He is a member of the elite task force. His character is defined by a traumatic past and a reputation for tactical brilliance, making him a popular and complex anti-hero. So there could be something about that resonates with you, and that could be what's spookily seductive about you, or what makes you spooky and seductive. So his skills is he's an expert in stealth, sabotage, and infiltration. His appearance, he wears a skull pattern headset and a dark sunglasses. And his mysterious persona, his masked appear and his silent demeanor is used to hide his identity and maintain anonymous. He's also a very complex character. So he's an anti-hero. So there could be something about that with you, is like you could be very stealthy, you could be also like brilliant. There could just be something about you being like someone who excels at whatever it is that you do. And there could just be something about like what's spooky, like what's seductively spooky about you is like how good you are at being stealthy, or at being like whatever it is you do, it's like you excel at it and it's like spookily like good. So you could definitely there could be something about you manifesting money. We definitely have that here for you. You could be manifesting a lot of money. You could be, you could have a lot of abundance, What else do we have here? It says luck. You could also be very lucky. Look at the skulls. We have a skull face here. That's so interesting. So skulls could be significant to you in some way. You could also have a really beautiful persona. I was definitely getting like maybe some of you guys are a little bit quiet, a little bit stealthy, kind of like silent, or likes to hide their persona or something, or maybe you're just like a mysterious, and that could be what's very spookily seductive about you. Is like people like don't really know you, like they want to get to know you. It says focus on improving, not proving. I think what is seductive, what's spooky about you is that you're not looking to prove yourself to other people, and that makes others uncomfortable. It's the fact that you're always improving and you're always excelling at no matter what it is you do. Pile 1. I think you're also someone who's not afraid of anything, and like from what I know about the game, COD, is that he, you know, it's like he's very strong and he's got a lot of aura. Like he's really like, he knows what he's doing, and he has a lot of confidence in that. Even if he's, you know, quiet, even if he's to himself, even if he keeps himself anonymous, it's like he has no fear. And that's what's very attractive, and I think that's what's very, you know, spooky and seductive about you, Pile 1. It says, I want to see what happens if I don't give up. It says, be afraid and do it anyway. I think you're the type of person that what's seductive about you and what's spooky about you is that you will pursue things that people could not even imagine pursuing. You get things done that people can't even imagine. Like you have brilliance, you excel, everything you touch turns to gold, and people are just like, it's like the fact that you don't give up and you just want to see what happens, even if you're curious, it's almost like your curiosity brings you towards success. And the fact that you're, you know, even though you may feel afraid, you do it anyways. You keep pushing anyways. And it says, feel the fear and do it anyway. So there could definitely be something about that, and that's what's like, people get scared for you, or people get like spooked out for you. But the fact that you're not scared, that is what's scary about you. We have emotional bandage. For use of minor depression, anxiety, panic attack can help cover your deepest insecurities and low self-esteem. For some of you, maybe you guys are feeling emotional, or you could be, you know, like healing your self-esteem, healing your insecurities. And that could be what's, you know, very seductive, very spookily seductive. It says maybe I tease him a little bit too much. There could be something about you teasing, being a teaser. We have do not disturb. We have what, like it's hard. I feel like you also are like, life is not hard. These things aren't hard. Like you make things look easy. And I think that's like another thing too with your character. I think just with your pile in general is like the energy that we're getting is like you make things look easy, and that's what's scary about you. People are scared of your potential. People are seriously scared of your potential. We have just be pretty and unbothered, babe. They're gonna villainize you regardless. There could be some people who are just scared of you, so they, you know, point fingers and try to make you look out to be like a villain. And it's just because they're scared of your potential. It's just because they're scared of you. They're intimidated by you. We have, I can't do people how they do me. The universe holds me to a different standard. I think what's also, oh my God, what's also very like seductively spooky about you, Pile 1, is that the fact that you, even though people treat you, you know, some people have hurt you in the past, you like walk away and you don't give them the energy back. Like you don't feed into it. You do not give that type of energy back towards them. And people are like, what's scary and seductive about you is like that not only is it you don't feed into it, but it's also that people are like almost like they're waiting for payback. They're waiting for you to like pay them back, and you just don't. And that's what's like, you know, they're seduced by it, but they're scared, you know, like they're anxious waiting for you to pay them back what they deserve. But then, you know, they just almost like they screw their own lives over themselves. You don't even have to do anything for it. It says old ways won't open new doors. Menace to society. You could be like an anti-hero, where it's like some people feel like you could be like taboo. Some people love you, some people hate you, and like you're like, I'm gonna do me no matter what. It says under love, heavy burden, do I sink? It says I run this empire. Get over here, Friday you find little thing. So that's what I have with your Pinterest board. Let's see what we have with your cards. I want to see what we have. The horror oracle here. I want to see what cards we get for you. We're gonna pull 2 cards. So we have the other side came out, and we have the celebration and midnight. You know what? I'll take these. Okay, let's see what we have here for you. Okay, so the first card I see is Carrie and the celebration. It says directed by Brian De Palma. Isn't it funny how, from what I remember with Carrie, is like they were scared of Carrie. So they bullied her, they made her look out to be like the monster or whatever. They were like scared of her, literally. I think she had like superpowers or something. And they were literally scared of her, so they just, you know, bullied her, made fun of her, you know, did all these terrible things to her. And it was almost like she finally was like, okay, like, I think she just kind of like gave in and became the villain. I'm not really sure what that's about, but anyways, let me read what it says. So it says, Carrie, directed by Brian. It says, they're just trying to trick me again, I know. It can be easy to find ourselves pushed beyond our personal limits, especially when we're drenched in a bucket full of other cruelty and ignorant misjudgment. There could be a lot of people misjudging you. Venturing out with a sense of optimism comes with the risk of a bitter disillusionment, and we may find ourselves lashing out even at those who try to help us all along. A celebration can turn into a nightmare. It says upright, practice self-care, avoid overextending yourself. There could be something about, for you, Pile 1, what is seductively spooky about you is that you're not afraid for people to misinterpret you, to misunderstand you, to, you know, to project their own problems onto you. You have no care for it because you know it has nothing to do with you. And you're like, it has everything to do with these other people. That's their problems. And like, you're almost like, what's super spooky is that you don't let it make you react. You don't let it bother you. You just continue to be your beautiful self and practice your self-care and avoid overextending yourself. Like, you're not looking to prove yourself to others. You're not looking to, you know, do things you don't want to do, or like people please all these people. Like, you're kind of like, I'm not going to try to fit in. If I don't fit in, I don't fit in, and that's it. So that's what I'm getting with Carrie. Let's see what we have with these other cards, and that's what's very spookily attractive or seductive. We have Midnight. Where's the Midnight one? Okay, so the Midnight one says Gremlins. It says directed by Joe Dante. You didn't listen and see what has happened. Some rules are made to be followed, and doing so makes the difference between a sweet circumstance or quickly multiplying elements of chaos. Timing can be everything. If things take a turn for the worse, it can be helpful to shine a light on the problem rather than letting it fester in the dark. In times of festivity, be mindful in your gifts giving and remember that personal experience can make holidays challenging for some. So it's in upright, it says take comfort in doing what's responsible. So this one's interesting. So what I'm really getting with this card is I think the fact that you are comfortable with, you know, being responsible, doing the things that you know what you should be doing rather than falling into, you know, maybe bad habits or letting problems fester. Like, you could be someone who's very honest, very upfront, you know, talking about problems, talking about the taboo, talking about issues, like, and not afraid to bring it up. That could be something, and that could be what's spookily seductive about you, is like, you are, for some of you, maybe you guys are like the dark sheep of the family, and like you are the one that like faces the problems, and you are the one who actually brings up the issues, unlike everybody else where they just try to like run away from them, or they just try to like ignore the fire. And it's like, bro, hello, face your issues, look in the fucking mirror. So that could be something. If that doesn't resonate, this could also just be saying, it says some rules may be followed, and doing so made the difference between a sweet circumstance or quickly multiplying chaos. Timing could be everything. If things take a turn for the worse, it can be helpful to shine the light on the darkness. Be mindful in your gift giving. Remember that personal experience can make holidays challenging. There could be something about holidays, like a specific holiday, and like giving a gift, and it's saying like you could be a really good gift giver. There could also be something about like maybe you're the type of person to choose wisely on so be mindful if you remember the personal experience you can have. I guess what I'm getting is like you're not afraid to follow the rules, but when things go haywire, you're also not afraid to like do your best in what you think is the best decision. And I don't know, there could definitely be something about holiday, like a holiday, spending time with your family, and maybe facing some sort of challenging situation when like almost like these people turn into gremlins at night or something, and it's like kind of chaotic or chaos ensues. So there could just be something about like maybe you're the type of person to choose wisely on whether or not to get involved or not. It's kind of like you're like doing what is responsible, taking comfort in doing what's responsible. Okay, and then we have the other side. So the other side here represents the poltergeist. I've seen this movie before. It says, envisioning how different our lives may be if we take or don't take action is like projecting two distinct states of being. It says, where are you? We're on one side or the other, depending on the decision we make. It can be helpful to find a guide. If the decision stems from an immediate problem, look for an underlying cause without getting distracted by the surface signifiers. Upright. There's unfinished business to be handled. What the hell? Okay, what I'm getting overall, the overall message I'm getting with all these cards is like there could be maybe some sort of celebration where like there could be maybe some chaos that ensues during like midnight, and it's almost like there's unfinished business with this, and it's asking like there's like two sides, like you're on two different sides with this, and it's saying where are you, and it says to look at like the bigger picture. I'm getting like look at the bigger picture of the situation, not at the little insignificant details. So there could be something about like what is seductively sexy or seductively spooky about you, pile one, is the fact that even though chaos ensues around you, you pick and choose your battles wisely. And also with the other side, it's like you're not afraid to see things from another's perspective, and look at it from a bigger picture. So that is what I have with your cards, pile one. Thank you so much for watching. If you felt like this resonated, we're going to go into more detail on my Patreon. Thank you so much. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile twos. If you chose this image, this will be your reading on what is seductively spooky about you. So your image is of Jason, and apparently it's like this mother spawned in some sort of angry spirit that like tries to kill anybody who crosses over or invades Camp Crystal Cove or Camp Crystal Lake. So there could be something about like a lake, or like a cabin, or just like a hockey. Hockey could be significant to you in some way. Or even just Jason in general. I like how there's like a little bow on him. So let's see what we have with your cards. We have, I think what could be spookily seductive about you is the fact that you could be maybe a little bit quiet. Maybe you kind of don't really say much. Maybe you say really wise things. You could be someone who really thinks before they speak, and you only say maybe a little bit, but everything you say has a lot of, meaning and understanding behind it. For some of you, maybe you guys are like in a relationship, or you could have a really good friendship with somebody, and it's like everybody is maybe intimidated by that because of how good the connection is. Or people could just be intimidated maybe by your art skills. Maybe you're an amazing artist, like you could draw something like this. It says bad bitches have no prime. They are constantly evolving into better versions of themselves. What is seductively spooky about you is that you're a bad bitch and you are literally constantly evolving into a better version of yourself. It's almost like you can never die. Like, you know how Jason is like, they always try to kill him off, and he just is always coming back better than ever. Like, he's literally coming back always stronger. That is you. Like, people just can't kill you off. People just can't defeat you. People just can't, get you out of the way. It's like you're always there. Never giving up. So we have Hello Kitty getting shocked at the computer. We also have Spanish here. It says, Yo cuando mi reloso, el tóxico no me gusta. So I've realized he's toxic and I don't like it. So there could be something about maybe what is seductively spooky is the fact that you could see through people's bullshit. Like, it's almost like with Jason, it feels like he's got like this radar. Like, he's almost like he has this like intuition, and he's able to find people very easily. It kind of reminds me of like, I think it's like Day by Daylight or Dead by Daylight, that game, where they almost have like this power where they could like see through the walls and stuff, and they could spot people and they could find people. I just feel like for you, Pile 2, it's almost like you can easily see through people, and you're able to see people's toxic behaviors or toxic traits and stuff, and you like can easily catch like a vibe that you don't like, to where you're like, okay, you're like really able to figure out like what decision you want to make, and how you want to handle that. So we have antidepressants here. For some of you, you guys could be like very happy. Maybe you guys are like always happy, always having a good mood, always like, feeling good and just like joyful. And that could be what's very seductively spooky about you. People are like, why is Pile 2 always happy? Why is Pile 2 always having an amazing time, always looking like they're having a blast, they're just living their best life? Like, what? We have, if it makes you feel beautiful, then do it. There could be something about you doing things that make you feel beautiful. Literally, like, look at the little bow that Jason has. Like, you could use like little accessories or cute little things like that. What else is seductively spooky about Pile 2? It says, I hope you think of me every time you see anything Halloween related. You could be very into Halloween. It says, know your power. You could be someone, what is seductively spooky about you is that you know your worth, you know your power. You could have really beautiful eyes. You could have, you could look like a Bratz doll. Maybe like when you wear glitter. Or you could have these beautiful lips and like siren eyes. Like, you could look like a Bratz doll. You could also have a really nice waist. It says, I'm hardcore now. There could be something about you being more intense, more intimidating. You could also be, for some of you, you could be a pretty princess, and it says, and if you say otherwise, I'll eat your face. Yeah, no, you could be a little bit scary. You could be a little toxica. Maybe you're the one who's a little toxica, Pile 2. It says, just a girl crying in the corner. For some, like, it's my way or the highway, and that could be what's seductively spooky about you. You have this like really cute, you look cute, but inside you're, you'll eat their face. Literally, you'll eat their face. You're like a shark. You could be intense. It says, moi, I'm a Libra. It says, a man who does nothing for you deserves nothing from you. It's that simple. It says, get over yourself. You know all your vulnerabilities. You know all your blind spots. You know the way past your defeats. You know your weaknesses. You know all your dirty little secrets. You know what you're afraid of. You know what hurts you most. You know what holds against you. You can't let go of. What you wish you could forget. And you know you can actually succeed if you stop thinking about all that shit and just get out of your way. For some of you, maybe you guys are getting in your way, your own way. And for the rest of you, it could be that maybe you are no longer getting in your own way. You are no longer falling into these mental, traps, or into these self-limiting beliefs, or any of this like bullshit that you like that you tell yourself that you are. Like, for example, like limitations. Like, for example, oh, I'm stubborn. I'm always going to be this way. I'm always going to be, X, Y, and Z. And it's like you're literally just limiting yourself from growth. So there could be something about that. It says, sorry, the person you're trying to reach has moved on. For some of you, maybe you're like the type of person, this could also just be something about, this is something that you already realized, and you're already getting out of your own way. Like you are excelling. It says, sorry, the person you reach has moved on. Maybe you are the type of person that like people are trying to get in contact with you, and you just moved on. And that could be what's spooky, like seductively spooky about you, is that you don't waste no time. Be where your feet are. There could be something about you being more in the present moment. You could be very much in the present moment. Shouldn't you be, I don't know, fucking off or something? I'm dead. You could be telling people to like go away or leave you alone. And that could be what's seductively spooky about you, is like they don't want to leave you alone, but you're like, please leave me alone. Pretty girls love Bruce Wayne. Maybe you guys love a Bruce Wayne. Maybe you guys are manifesting someone like Bruce Wayne. It says, new ideas. I know everything. I know that I know nothing. There could be something about you not being afraid to acknowledge and put your ego aside to say, hey, I don't really know that much about this. Let me learn more. So that you could actually allow yourself to, gather new ideas. There could be something about a new car. It says, in relationships, I'm with my damn self. Hello, kitty charm. So it says, when a bitch tries everything to make you mad, it says, at least you tried, ho. You could be the type of person that you don't let people get you mad. Like, you're kind of just like, you might get mad later behind closed doors with yourself, but like you don't ever give people a reaction. I think you're also the type of person that maybe you just got a new car, and it could be a really nice car, so people are like, they're like, damn, Pile 2 could just buy themselves a whole nice car. Yeah. So that is what I have for you. Manifesting. We also have do it for the plot. There could be something about like sushi. Maybe like dressing up as a zombie or something, the undead. Oh my god, didn't we say Dead by Daylight? There could be something about zombies could be significant to you in some way. Maybe you guys being like overly tired, or maybe it's the opposite of that. Maybe you're like constantly awake and you're you're literally undefeated. Like you can never just go away. Like you are always, maybe some of you guys are always up and they're like, how are you? Pile 2, get some sleep. So that's what I have with your index messages. Let's see what we have with your tarot cards. I think we should pull the Michael mask one, or the Jason mask, because we have Jason here. So I think that should at least be one of them. And then let's pull one more, because I think that's all we have time for. Please give me one more. We have the Children at Night of the Night. So let's see what these cards have to say. Okay, so the first card that we have is the Children of the Night, which is Dracula. So this is about Dracula, it's about vampires in his like castle. So it says, what music they make. There could be something about maybe you making music, maybe you're a really good like artist, music maker, and that could be something that is seductively spooky about you, is maybe you make like spooky music, or listen to spooky music. We have listen to them, your kindred spirits. Maybe you are spooky. Maybe you dress spooky. Maybe you dress like a vampire. Maybe you have like a gothic look to you, and that could be what's spooky. It says listen to them, your kindred spirits, those of similar habits and haunt who share your tastes and enthusiasms. Many creatures, humans, bats, wolves, they evolve as social animals who benefit from close bonds that go beyond even the blood ties of immediate relatives. Roam with your pack. It's good for the soul. It says make it a night to remember. The fuck? So it says many creatures evolve as social animals who benefit from close bonds beyond their blood ties. There could be something about you, listen to them, kindred spirits or similar habits haunt who shares your taste and enthusiasm. There could be something about you making a family, or like joining a society of like-minded people who share similar habits, share similar tastes or enthusiasms, even if they don't have like blood related. Like you're literally making a new family of, even if they're not blood related. With the Friday the 13th mask, it says, who are you? Who is anyone really? Behavior, demeanor can disguise as identity, as well as any mask. For some of you, you guys could literally be wearing a mask. You could be pretending to be somebody else, and that could be what's, seductively spooky about you, is people kind of feel like you aren't being your authentic self. For some of you, that could be something. For other of you, maybe you are releasing those things and you're no longer wearing a mask. There could be something about you no longer identifying yourself as someone you're not meant to be. Because sometimes when we ask ourselves, like, who are you really? What are you going to say? For some people, it could be like, oh, I'm stubborn. What makes you say you're purposely, choosing to be stubborn? You know what I mean? Like, that's not actually a part of your identity. That is just something you choose. And that could be something that could be let go of. You know what I mean? Like, some people choose toxic things to label themselves as and say that's just who they are, but in reality, it's just that's what they're choosing to continue to be. So I hope that makes some sense for some of you. That could be a message. But other than that, it says behavior and demeanor can be disguised as identity, as well as any mask. Those with an agenda may be those we least expect or suspect, especially if we encounter them in an atmosphere or scenic circumstances. If deception is revealed, it may come in a sudden, piercing moment of recognition. We had known the truth all along. It says, in reverse, mistrust is repaid in mistrust. Wow. Pile 2. I think that's like the biggest thing. There could be something about, for some of you, this could be maybe you have the wound of distrust. Maybe you might find it hard to trust people. You might find it hard to believe their words, believe their actions, and trust me, that comes from, a lot of different situations. There's nothing wrong with you, having that or having that wound, because obviously, it's not like you didn't have it for a reason. Like, traumas come from, traumas cause that. But there could just be a message saying here with this message is, people could feel like what is spooky about you is people feel like they're not sure how you're interpreting them. Or there could also be something about, there could be mistrust, like the fact that you can't, or you feel like you can't trust others, or you can't trust their word, you can't trust their action. That is what's keeping you, by continuously, reliving that cycle. You are constantly attracting those types of people. So there could be something about healing that, releasing that, and no longer, healing the mistrust. So that could be something. If that's not it, it could also just be talking about what is seductively spooky about you is that you maybe are easier to trust. Maybe you are somebody who you could be very good with your intuition and knowing who you can trust, but also allowing yourself to actually trust trustworthy people instead of, you know, sabotaging or shooting yourself in the foot. So that could be something, but that is what I have for your cards here today. Thank you so much, Pile 2, for watching. If you felt like it resonated and you want to hear more, we're going to be continuing on my Patreon. Thank you so much. Bye. Hello, my beautiful Pile 3s. If you chose this image, this will be your reading on what is seductively spooky about you. So I think first thing I wanted to say is you could eat male tears for breakfast. But if that doesn't resonate, it could just be something about, the first thing I want to say is actually, I am selling personal readings. If you are interested, I have a sale going on, Spooky, for 30% off. It's going to be up until tomorrow, so definitely take advantage of it while you still can. I'm probably not going to have a sale going on this cheap ever again. So if you're wanting to get one, it will be up until my birthday, which is tomorrow. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. We're also going to have an 18 plus extended reading to this pile, so if you felt like it resonated and you want to hear more about this reading specifically, we will have it on my Patreon. Okay, let's hop into your reading. Thank you for listening. So the first thing we have is Ghostface. So there could be something about Ghostface Killer in that movie. Something about the movie could be significant. You could have a really seductive voice. Maybe you have a little bit of a spooky voice. It could just be something very unique about your voice. Maybe people have never heard your voice before. It could be very deep, or it could be very like mischievous sounding, and it's a little bit spooky. Another thing I'm getting is maybe you're really into like horror movies, and that could be what's seductively spooky about you. You could literally be, maybe you have spooky costumes, maybe you do spooky makeup, maybe you do, there could be something about, like, I want to say carving pumpkins. Maybe you do like spooky, like you put like spooky characters on your pumpkins or something. There could also be something about like, what did I want to say? I feel like you have a really high pain tolerance, and I'm also getting, there could be something about, maybe for some of you, you guys aren't like queasy at like the sight of blood. I don't know. That's what came out. Maybe you're like really good at like taking shots, like, you know, at the doctors when they give you like shots or something. I don't know. There could be something about that. I know that's very specific. But anyways, let's hop into your Pinterest board. So we have male tears on the rocks. For some of you, you guys could be a Gemini, and that could be what's spookily seductive about you. Sounds like a you problem. Nope. Okay, some of you guys could also be like, you don't care to make a guy cry. I know this is kind of like gendered, but if you, it doesn't matter what gender you are, whether you're male, female, non-binary, there could just be something about you, no matter who it is, you're kind of like, there could just be something about you being maybe tough with people, especially if it's like they've hurt you and you're kind of like, brother, like you're crying over you hurting me, you know what I mean? We also have always stay above people's fears, shames, and limitation. You are meant for more. You could be someone who literally, you have no fear, shame, or any limitations. You are someone who rises like above that. It says, don't worry, all your secrets are safe with me. I have short-term memory loss. Maybe some of you guys, what's spookily seductive is like the fact that you might have short-term memory. Or maybe people feel like you have a lot of secrets. People could feel like you know everything. People could feel like you know everybody's secret. And they're just like afraid that you'll spill the beans. But you genuinely are like, I don't even remember what you told me. Someone's name could be Sam. We have Bratz here. Some of you guys could look like a Bratz doll. We keep getting Bratz doll. It says, like rain I fall, but like water I flow, like the sun I shine. Everything takes time and I'll be fine again. I think you're the type of person who really just goes with the flow of life and of things. Like you don't lose your marbles over, spilled milk. Are kind of just like, oh, that sucks, but I will still live. We have, what pen is that? there could be something about you drinking iced coffee. What's spookily seductive about you is maybe how early you wake up in the morning, or the fact that you are like always, journaling to yourself. You're always writing in your journal, or maybe it's the way that you take notes. Maybe you are just like so neat and organized, and it's almost like you're a robot. So it's kind of like people are like spooked out by that. It says, be happy on purpose, go outside, stretch, book, call a friend, meditate, write in the journal, eat good food, breathe, learn something new, express gratitude, chase the sun, dance, create magic. I think you're the type of person that is, you're always vibrating on a high frequency, pile 3, and it is just so seductive. Like, people wonder if it's real, but it's like, it is real, and people just can't seem to grasp your healthy habits and your healthy routines that keep you smiling. We have take the chance while you still have the choice. There could be something about you not being, what's seductively spooky about you is like the fact that you're not afraid to take a risk. You're not afraid to jump in with both feet and like take the chance while you still can. It says silly girls live forever. You could be a silly girl. What else do we have? They could all treat me like a baby. I'll show them. I'll prove them that I can be hardcore. Maybe you're hardcore. You may look like you're not hardcore, but you are deep down. You could, some of you guys could be a little delulu, and that could be in like your ambitions. For example, like whatever it is you're chasing to do, you're chasing to pursue. It's like people are like, feel like you're delusional, but it's not. It's just delusional in their own perspective. It's because they don't think that they could achieve it. But you can. It says, simple truth about creativity comes from boredom, not inspiration. When your brain has nothing to consume, it starts to create. Interesting. We've killed boredom with phones and wondered where creativity went. It's hiding behind the screen you won't put down. Some of you guys could be, what's spookily seductive about you is the fact that you let yourself sit in the boredom. You let yourself, just sit without looking on your phone, without, constantly consuming whatever it is. Because there's a lot of different things you could consume. It could be content, it could be unhealthy food, it could be tons of different things. And you're just allowing yourself to be bored. You're allowing yourself to maybe, for the lack of better words, like starve a little bit so that you can actually go out of your way to create something amazing, to cook yourself up something great for yourself, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like sometimes we just have to sit in that uncomfortable feeling and allow our creativity to flow. And I think that's something that you could be very intense with that. Like maybe that's something that you like to do and people are like, oh my God, pile 3 is crazy. And that's what's seductively spooky about you, is like almost like your discipline. We have 333. Wow, for support. It says the universe is sending you love and support and guidance. This is a message from the universe, pile 3, saying that you are loved and you are supported. And you're constantly being guided. It says this is literally my favorite activity to do. There could be something about the way you sleep with like maybe your dogs. You could really love dogs. For some of you, 222 could be significant. It says plant your own garden, decorate your own soul instead of waiting for someone to bring you flowers. You could be really making your garden quite beautiful, your sanctuary. It says when someone asked me to drive instead of being a passenger princess. Someone asked me about you the other day, and I said that she's not too tall. Her hair is such a color. There could be something about you being you could be just so stunning and beautiful, and people could just genuinely really love you. Pile 3, it says you have to stop having coffee so late. And it says I'm hip. Maybe some of you guys are like night owls, so you just can't seem to go to bed. What else do we have? Let's read one last one. There could be something about what is spookily seductive. There could be something about you have been visited by a money cat. Your bank account is about to be overflowing with extra income. So there could be something about you having a lot of income. There could be something about you having like just extra money to spend and not have to worry about holding on to tightly. And that could be what's seductively spooky about you, is like everybody's kind of holding on to their wallets while you're more of like, you know what, I am overflowing with extra income. I'm gonna spend it, you know, and treat myself. That's what I have with you. So let's see what we have with your tarot cards. Let's get 2 cards. We have the Help Me, which is the Exorcist. Oh, there's so many cards came out. We have Freddy Krueger too. It says Dreams. Then we have Earth. I'll take those. Is this another 𝑒𝑩𝑒𝑚 vampire fucking one? What the hell? Look at this. 𝑒𝑩𝑒𝑚. Okay, we have the Help Me. Let's see what we have here for you. Okay, so the first message I'm getting with the Exorcist, it says, help me in reverse. So the Exorcist, it says, what is wrong with me? It can be really hard to ask for help, especially when we are struggling. We may even act outward as a thought that help is our last thing we want or need, or resort to awful behavior to repel those coming to our aid. But a cry for help can also reveal itself even while unspoken. If those around you, you can read the signs. And in reverse, it says, stick it out on your own. Transformation is not always a bad thing. Interesting. So what I'm getting, okay, so it's in reverse. So specifically in reverse, it says to stick it out on your own. And maybe you are, what is so seductively spooky about you is the fact that you could literally do anything on your own. It's the fact that you don't really need anyone else to help you. Like, it's almost like you could help yourself and you excel on your own. That could be for some of you. For the rest of you, though, there could be something about you not being afraid to ask for help. Even though you know that you could get through it on your own, you're not afraid to, you know, ask for help and, again, like, put your ego aside and just allow help in, allow others to help. So there could be something about that. And then with the dreams here, so this is the Nightmare on Elm Street. This is Freddy Krueger, and it's about like nightmares. Like, basically he comes in at their nightmares to attack. And it says, the Nightmare on Elm Street, everybody's got a dream. The weird jumble of dream logic can feel beyond our control, almost as though someone else is pulling the strings. It can be unclear where we are or how we've arrived there, but a surreal turn can cue what is really happening, and a lucid chance to turn our back on the stuff of nightmares. So it's in reverse. It says, it's only a dream. And upright, it says, dreams tell stories, listen. So I think with the it's only a dream, what I think that is trying to say is whatever it is you're fearing, whatever it is you're scared of, it's almost like it's only up in your imagination. Like, it's not something to be worried about. It's like, you know, again, it's like an illusion. Fears are illusions. I think that's what this card is saying. And another thing, what I'm kind of getting from this card is like, if what is seductively spooky about you is that it's almost like you are in control of your dreams. You are in control of steering yourself into the direction you truly want to go, instead of like letting somebody else tell you what to do or letting somebody else guide you down the wrong path. Like, you are someone who is very, you know, in the driver's seat, you know. So that's what I'm getting with that card. And then we have the Earth card here, which is right below. It says 𝑒𝑩𝑒𝑚. Wow, this is literally 𝑒𝑩𝑒𝑚. He looks like a rat. He does a rat. Where begins the land of phantoms? It says, stay connected to where we come from and can offer feelings of safety and comfort when we wander. A tangible element we can carry with us can be nourishing and bring in with a centered sense of self as we strike out into the unfamiliar environments. Keeping home close to the heart insulates us from hostile energies, especially when we are subjected to be casted in a harsh light. And it's upright. It says, remember where you came from. Here begins the land of phantoms. Stay connected to where you come from, offering a feeling of safety and comfort when we wander. You could be like expanding your horizon, pile 3. You could be going, maybe traveling, maybe moving, maybe just going somewhere else. And there's like a lot of, unfamiliar people, a lot of ghosts. It's almost like a ghost town. It kind of feels like maybe you're alone, or like maybe you're kind of like, it's just uncomfortable. And this is saying like to not lose who you are, or a tangible element we can carry with us can be nourishing, bringing a center sense of self as we strike out into the unfamiliar environments. Keeping home close to our heart insulates us from hostile energies, especially when we are subject to be casted in harsh light. I don't really know what the fuck this card means, honestly. Pile 3, I would love to hear what you have to say on what this represents for you. But I guess the best message I am getting is it's almost like stay true to who you are. Stay true to the person you were in the past. Maybe not in a way of like, whatever in the past was holding you back. Like, don't get me wrong, new opportunities. What I'm getting from this is like saying, like, for example, if you're moving, right? It's okay to move. It's okay to step into that uncomfortable environment, but also make sure to, don't forget where you came from. Don't forget the beautiful things about where you came from, the beautiful memories, the beautiful, people, the beautiful culture, whatever it is, and keep yourself intact with that, but also, don't let the traumas or the fears or the anxieties or the bad things from the past hold you back from expansion. So that could be something. And then with like the harsh light stuff, it's kind of giving me like keeping home close to heart insulates us from hostile energies, especially when it comes where it's subject to be casted in harsh light. There could be something about maybe you coming from a place that maybe some people don't like. I don't know. But there could be something about like keeping your home close. With that, like don't lose yourself by trying to be somebody else. That's what I'm getting. And another thing, like for example, if you're like from another country, don't lose yourself trying to be somebody else. That's what I'm getting. And another thing, it could be, for some of you, it could be like, you're not the type of person to just give in to, like, for the lack of better words, like selling your soul. Like how like some famous companies or whatever, they're like, oh, we just need you to do this. It's like, don't lose your dignity. Don't lose your, backbone. You are worthy of everything. And don't let this, villain think that you need them or make you think that you, can't do it without them. You can do it. That could be a very specific message for somebody. But that is what I have for you, my beautiful. I think that's like, you are already aware of that. Those are the things that you do. And that is what's seductively spooky about you, is that you're like, I know I don't need anybody else. So that is what I have for you, my beautiful pile threes. If you felt like this resonated, make sure to check out my Patreon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!